there's a lot of talk right now about crime. Now, violent crime has gone up over the last 7, 8 years. By the way, it hasn't just been the last 2. They never talk about it when it went up under the other guy. You notice that? Funny how that works. And by the way, it's gone up not just in so-called liberal states, it's gone up in conservative rural areas too. But who will fight to keep you and your family safe? Is it going to be the Republican politicians who want to flood our streets with more guns, who actually voted against more resources for police departments?
Joining us now is the Lieutenant Governor of Wisconsin, Mandela Barnes. He is Wisconsin's Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Thank you very much for joining us once again tonight. To pick up on what President Obama was just saying, what are you telling Wisconsin voters about the crime issue and what you can do about it in the Senate?
Well, I'm telling people that, unfortunately, we have Ron Johnson, who's pointed every finger on his hand, but hasn't lifted a single one to help us out. You know, our administration delivered historic investments in the law enforcement, public safety, and crime prevention initiatives, $100 million. And Ron Johnson voted against that funding. It came through the American Rescue Plan Act. Now, this is what happens all the time. They'll use crime to try to further divide people in the state, to drive these wedges. But when cities across the state of Wisconsin have called out for help, whether it's from the state legislature or whether it's from members of Congress, the U.S. Senate like Ron Johnson, they've been nowhere to be found. They only show up when it's election time to talk about problems they never seem to ever care about fixing. That's what's so frustrating for me, because I got involved because I've lost more friends than I care to count to gun violence. I got involved to make communities safe. And I hope nobody ever has to deal with the pain of burying a loved one or burying a classmate when you're still in school, and people who've had their whole lives ahead of us. And it's unfortunate that people like Ron Johnson use this as a political ploy instead of doing the right thing. Folks can step up and help us out in these final weeks. It would go a long way to actually helping us make communities safer in the long term. So just MandelaBarnes.com. We need all the help we can get because this is a very close race.
Social Security recipients got their largest annual cost of living increase this year. That's, of course, pegged to inflation, so it's going to be large because inflation is high this year. But Republicans like Ron Johnson have often opposed that cost of living increase. They've tried to reduce it. Now, Republicans like Ron Johnson are saying they're putting the entire concept of Social Security on the block, possibly willing to eliminate it, and certainly unhinge it as an automatic benefit that people have earned. What is your position on the future of Social Security?
I'll tell you, Social Security may go away completely if Ron Johnson has his way. You know, he's already signaled that he would like to privatize Social Security. He doesn't think that you deserve the benefits you've worked your entire lives for. He doesn't think that you deserve to have a comfortable retirement. We're talking about a person whose multi-million-dollar company pays $0 in state income taxes since 2013. But when it comes to making sure that people who've worked their entire lives can have a little bit of comfort in their retirement, that's just too much. And that's because he's a person who's written the rules for himself. He's a person who's only in it for his wealthy donors and to make himself more wealthy. He doubled his own wealth, and he's hell-bent on making everybody else's life worse. I know that not only stabilizing Social Security, making it solvent, but strengthening Social Security for generations to come by making sure that the wealthy pay their fair share is the way that we keep this vital program strong for generations to come.
Do Wisconsin voters realize that in this very close race that you're in, it's just a tie in the polls right now, that democracy itself is at stake in this outcome?
Well, people talk to me all the time about the threat to democracy. And on our Barnes for Barnes tour, was greeted by a Republican farmer who, he was straight up with me. He told me to vote for Democrats. He's a Republican. But it was the threats to democracy that did it for him. He said there's no way that he could support someone who would try to undermine the Constitution in the way that Ron Johnson has, a person who would try to undermine the very fabric of our democracy in the way that Ron Johnson would try to do so, trying to send fraudulent electors to the vice president and supporting an attempted overthrow of our government is just a bridge too far for too many people. But it's par for the course for Ron Johnson.
What do you think is the single most unfair criticism of you that you have heard from Ron Johnson?
Well, Ron Johnson has been pretty ridiculous the whole way through, and it's because he doesn't have his own record to defend. He's done everything to distract and try to divide this entire state. And look, I can take it. I put my name on the ballot. It's the fact that he's insulted working class people all across Wisconsin. I'm frustrated that he would be so audacious as to make people in this state feel as if they're less than or as if they're not deserving. That's who I'm mad on behalf of the people of Wisconsin that Ron Johnson has left behind. We always knew he would be ridiculous because for 12 years, he's done nothing. He's lied for 12 years. We shouldn't expect him to start being truthful now. And this divisive behavior from Ron Johnson has come to an end. He's the worst senator that we've had since Joe McCarthy. And even then, who knows? I wasn't alive for Joe McCarthy. It's a real race to the bottom here when trying to figure out that one.
Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, now the Democratic candidate for Senate in Wisconsin. Thank you very much for joining us once again tonight.
Thank you.